You're like, you need to get this. You need to understand this.
Yeah.
We have a thing.
My Twitter friends would know what it is.
See, when I say
goes
Twitter
from like
friends,
not talking to all of a sudden his voice is like, all super deep. It's like shocking to my ears.
Yeah, right. A great podcasting voice. Must be nice. I sound like a drunk Kermit the Frog.
That's awesome.
On that note, I'll welcome us in. So,
please tell me that made it on.
Oh, of course it did. Welcome into the Dynasty Happy Hour Open Bar. We started a little bit late tonight, and sorry about that. We're usually here 9:30 Eastern, but Jake was drunk, and we had to talk him into coming on. He was literally in a closet drinking alone, and this soup just got super fucking sad. Sorry, Jake, but I'm just excited to have you on. That's all. I really know.
I'm excited to get out of the closet. In several ways.
We've all been waiting for you to come out of the closet for a long time. Proud of you.
It took guts.
What does your wife have to say about it?
She doesn't know yet. I'm telling you guys first.
Oh man, this is breaking news.
You
breaking
heard it here
news.
first on the Dynasty Happy Hour Open Bar at NFL Draft Talker. Has changed the scenery per se.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, that is an excellent coming out shirt. That's exactly what I would have picked.
I got off work late, bro.
This is a good start.
Well, welcome in. Welcome my co-host at J Mike Chick. How you doing, brother?
Pretty well. What up, everyone? Excited to be here. This is going to be a historic night on the Open Bar. I'm already seeing that coming. I'm pretty thrilled about what we've got going. So yeah, good to be here.
It started off on fire and it's going to end in ashes. That is for sure. I was going to say like certain and sure at the same time, and I couldn't decide. So I just kind of said like sure.
You got to commit.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll pass this off. So I quit messing up here. From left to right, we got the NFL Draft Talker.
What's going on, guys?
What's up?
I don't really feel welcome here, but I'm here.
Well, it's been a while. Some changes have been made around here since the last time you were on the Open Bar.
Tim and I are going to duke it out by the end of tonight. I have a feeling.
I give up.
We're just getting started, guys. This alcohol is just starting to flow.
Yeah. Jake, what are you drinking, man?
I'm drinking a Sam Adams Rebel IPA grapefruit.
Back to the fruity beers. We can get into that again if we need to.
No, we've gone down that road
that's
before.
True. The joke's dead. Pano, we stole one of the henchmen from the Dynasty Happy Hour. We've had Doug Eddie before. It turns out our boss won't stop by the show like ever, except when he first started out, he was like at work and he'd show up and it was really weird. But yeah, now we have a genuine person to show up. Joe Pano, how you doing, man?
What's going on, guys? I'm super excited to do this. I love these live podcasts with video attached to them. It's just a little bit more tangible. So let's do this, man. I'm ready to drink some beer, talk some football, hang out with you guys, and let's let her rip.
No fuck ups allowed. That's for sure. When we're live, we're live. We can't.
I shouldn't be here. If that's the case, I should not be here. Let's just be honest about that. Get that out of the way.
Okay, Joe. We've all heard you on the happy hour. We don't have to. I'm just trying to bring your spirits up, pal. This is for you.
Thanks. My self-esteem is, I need a boost every once in a while, guys.
And cheers to that. What are you drinking, by the way?
I got a conglomerate of IPAs. Actually, I got right now I'm drinking a Deep Ellum IPA, which is a local Dallas IPA. I got a fresh squeezed IPA from Deschutes. I got let's see, what else is my other one? I got a Lagunitas, a little something ale, and I'm ready to roll. I got a little variety.
Yeah, you're up in Dallas, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we also have to share your address on the Open Bar. It's kind of our thing,
Oh yeah,
for sure. Weeks ago, pronounced memes and things, but we'll get to that later. But I'm going up to Fort Worth. Let's drink IPAs together this weekend.
Let's do it, man.
So
let's do it.
I don't know. That's pretty close to Dallas. Close enough. Tim, back-to-back weeks. I gotta ask you, man, how did you do it? How did you do it?
You know, you suckered me in, man. I tell you what, this was a blast last week. Like I've had some fun discussing fantasy football in the past, but last week was probably the most fun I've had in a group of people talking about fantasy and a bunch of other stuff. So props to everybody that's here and the guys that aren't, Michael Stepney and those guys, Luke. I'm really fortunate to be back. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man. I had a lot of fun last week too. I was just really kind of jealous about Luke and how philosophical he was and how creative he was. And I was like, I'm basically being shoved out of this podcast hosting job. Like,
is that why he's not back?
He did. He did.
Negotiations are going on behind the scenes. Him and Tyler are boxing
mutiny going on.
Yeah, he's getting his tryout on Vox right now. He's like, let me hear that voice.
Did he really say it like that? Like,
it's much more sensual than that.
When I get that feeling.
J Mike's in the back singing background vocals.
I want sexual healing.
Dude, that's why we got so many kids, J Mike. You know, we can't help.
I know we got to calm that down.
I know.
Calm it down.
Well, hold on a second. How many kids do you guys have? How many kids do you guys have?
But between Pano and I, we've got 7.
Okay.
Stop.
On my own. Wait, that I know of.
You don't do anything on your own. I don't know if you understand how this works. Like, you don't do anything. I'm going to question this already. No, go for it. Sorry. Between my wife and I, we brought some in and then we made some. There's this weird mix, but yeah, we got 5 in our house. Like
Wait, that's 10. 5.
Yeah, that's 10.
Very nice.
I brought the 5 that I don't know about in.
Very nice. All right. Well, hey, this is a family podcast for pretty much.
Gabe, you watch your dirty mouth.
I don't have the kids, and you know my kids are safe at home. If you get that reference, but Yep.
All right, come out to Fort Worth, man. We'll have a few beers. Don't worry, you'll have some kids pretty soon.
Yeah.
Not with me. I mean, like, you know, other people out.
We'll talk this weekend, Joe. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Between Jake coming out of the closet and you and Pano having kids together.
No, hold on. Back up. I'm a good wingman. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Let me take that back.
And sorry, Tim. How embarrassing. What are you drinking, man?
Oh, you did that on purpose.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, you absolutely did that on purpose.
He's enjoying something delicious, I can tell.
I just looked over at the wine rack to see if I could reach a good bottle or not to get up, and I can't. So, and I'm not gonna lie anyway.
Can you display it like Vanna White, please?
This is an excellent year with an excellent nose. It's a little tough to get into, but yeah, it's tough to find. You probably have to order it online, and you're going to pay through the teeth for it. But yeah, Black Box Cabernet Sauvignon.
You're fancy. You are fancy. Are you
I am
on your podcast?
No, we're gonna do a boxed wine special and all the stuff you can do with it. So yeah, but I've got some
wine on this podcast.
Hey, I'm telling you what, man, some of them aren't bad. But I am going to move into some fancy beers here a little bit later. I mean, some really, really cool shit. So,
if you're listening, Black Box, we're looking for sponsors here on the Open Bar. You know, just whenever you're ready, just DMs are open. DMs are open. I already forgot what I was going to say.
Dude, Black Box is still using MySpace. Like, let's be honest.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I know. So I saw this video, right? Real side story for box wine. They were like, they took the bag of wine out of the box, and then they, like, you know, those videos on Facebook, they start doing like crafts with like a bunch of weird shit. Like where are you going with this? And so they like grab a bucket.
I don't ever watch YouTube videos like that.
For crafting.
It's insane to actually sit through the whole thing. I still regret it. Like, I'm not getting that time back. So I watch them. They got a bucket. They've got like toys. And I'm like, and the box wine, just the bag of it. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then basically, long story short, I don't want to get you through the whole video, suffered through what I did, but they put the box wine into this upside down or the bucket, and then like made a little beach on top of the bucket. And then, and they like put the dispenser through the bucket. So then, and they brought this like pail to the beach that was like decor of like beach made stuff. And it was just like, bring your wine to the beach and make it look cool versus just bring in a box of wine. And I don't know. It was just like, what? But just bring the box of wine. And I don't know. It's just like total waste of time. Much like the video I watched, much like the story that I just shared with all of you.
This has to be what my wife feels like after sex. Or so I've been told.
Speaking of marriage and people that we're, you know, in love with, and we've been that's been our theme here to start off with. Who's your guy through 4 weeks? Who's the guy that you would just absolutely go up to and get on your knee?
So confused right now.
Whoa.
And just say, I'm so happy you're on my fantasy football team. I'm so happy that you're here for me through these first 4 weeks.
I'm going to let you guys answer that.
Yeah,
Who's that guy?
I mean, other than Hunt, nobody's allowed to say Hunt. That's too obvious.
Yeah, that's already my guy.
No,
You got to come up with somebody other than that.
I don't own him enough, so I couldn't even say it unless in Dynasty League. But
you know who loves Hunt is Tyler and Doug. They love him so much.
How could you?
How about Fantasy's #1 wide receiver in PPR, Stefan Diggs?
Yeah.
Like Bradford, no Bradford, it don't matter. Dude is in another place right now.
But what if Bradford hadn't got hurt? What if he was still healthy? What the hell would we be talking about him? My God.
And once he gets Teddy Two Gloves back in week 7.
Oh God.
Teddy Two Gloves. Yeah, so Stefan Diggs is a guy that I'm incredibly happy to have on several squads. I can't be more thrilled. Obviously, you didn't have to pay a high price to get him specifically in Dynasty. I feel like that the price was low enough to be able to be bought all over the place in the offseason. So he's on a lot of my teams, and life is better because of it. So, yes, thank you, Stefan Diggs.
And I would say Dalvin Cook before last week, pour one out for can we just have a quick drink for Dalvin Cook?
Moment of silence here, please.
Let's salute Dalvin Cook. We miss you, buddy. Number 33.
As a Vikings fan and owning him in 2/3 of my dynasty leagues, it was extra difficult last week.
Oof.
But as a Jerick McKinnon,
no.
All right, wait. As long as we're on the topic, since people probably want to learn some things about fantasy football, can we all agree that Latavius Murray's the guy to own in that backfield? Like, without a doubt?
Yes, but
I think that's the guy who's going
can't be that excited about it.
Sought after in for Fab this week, but I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. The volume's there, I guess, but he's just not good and not healthy either. He's not fully healthy from that.
Did you guys see that game? The difference between Dalvin and Latavius on tape is just like it looked like, and Latavius has some burst and some explosion. He looked like he was running through wet concrete that game compared to Dalvin. Dalvin was just bursting through the hole, and Latavius is just plodding. And he'll get touches, but so does Rob Kelly, and he's not very valuable in fantasy either.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like he's almost like he was a combination of Latavius and McKinnon. Like if you combine those two together, that's what you had in Dalvin Cook. And now you don't have anything, but that's what he was. So
this is a whole lot of Vikings love right now. They're at Chicago this week. Are we still starting everybody from Minnesota?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you have to.
I mean, I'm starting Stephon Diggs. And then
Adam
Thielen in a flex, a deep league flex, but that's about it.
The only reason I ask is as it pertains to just what Chicago's done this year. I was looking through, and obviously for receivers, they've given up 27 points to Atlanta, 33 points to Tampa Bay, 35 to Pittsburgh, 47 to Green Bay. Obviously, this is a spot to play them, but it's in Chicago. Is anybody nervous in the least bit? Or is it just like, whatever, saddle them up, let's go?
I don't know. I mean, go ahead, Jake.
Minnesota, just to let you know, Minnesota generally plays like complete garbage in Chicago.
Correct.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know how you bench him. I mean, you can't bench Diggs. And he's going to come back to the pack, just to let you know. That touchdown efficiency is not going to be there. And he, through I think 4 or 5 weeks last year, he was a top 5 wide receiver as well. He also has a lot of soft tissue injuries. So, I mean, it's just the pessimism as a Vikings fan running through my blood. But I have some concerns. Well, if you were a Vikings fan, you would understand what it's like to live this life. But
dude, I am a Redskins fan. I understand this life that you're discussing right now.
Man. You had a week. You had a rough week.
Dude, just a rough life.
Oh, Josh. Oh, Josh.
You loved it so much, then you moved to Dallas. It was
I just can't get enough of this torture. That's what I do. It's who I am. It's a struggle.
So, as far as the Bears go, so if you're the Vikings on the road, and Jake, you're the kind of the Vikings guy. I don't know who else is, but if you've got a quarterback that you're not 100% confident in, facing a pretty competent defense on the road, and it's taken a while for the receivers to get open, who do you look to?
Slot.
Yeah,
Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, but Kyle Rudolph's been non-existent without Bradford. It's just like Keenum doesn't even have eyes for him.
But isn't this the game for him? I mean, because the Bears haven't faced a good tight end yet, have they?
I was actually just going to see what their rank. I'm just on Football Outsiders right now. I was going to see how the Bears rank. Bears rank are the 21st against pass defense, so they're not very good there. They are 31st against wide receiver ones.
Oof.
And tight ends.
Yeah, they're not.
They are
good at shutting that
18th.
down.
They're 18th, and
so yeah,
13th against wide receiver twos, and other wide receivers 24th. So,
but look at the quarterbacks and the wide receiver ones they've gone against. Though they've gone against good quarterbacks so far.
They've also gone against. Well, they went against Julio. I mean, who else did they go against?
They went against Mike Evans, and
they went against Mike Evans and Julio, and they're still So
that's what I'm saying. Like when you look at their wide receiver one deficit, sort of right now, I mean, that's understandable. I mean, who's not going to do bad against that wide receiving core? And so that's kind of what makes me wonder is if this isn't Kyle Rudolph. I mean, you got to be. He hasn't stood out yet, but God damn it, he is a good tight end.
He is, but he's Bradford's guy. You know.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And I mean, Bradford and him showed that chemistry last year, and I think it was going to transition to this year too. But I don't know. It's so hard to watch Case Keenum play, and I know he's had a good game, and he didn't play completely awful last week, but it's just such a drop off from Bradford.
Yeah. And not for nothing,
not a lot of people think it would be.
That 80-yarder by Austin Hooper, that was against the Bears.
Yeah, that was like a blown coverage. That was like the ugliest play ever. And I love Austin Hooper, but that was like, that was such an ugly play.
Strong cover tight ends. Well,
he was like stumbling all the way to the end zone. It was painful to watch.
He said he like blacked out during it and didn't even remember it.
Yeah, I could tell.
Like, I just hit somebody, and
I blacked out from watching him. I was like waiting for him to get to the end zone. And I blacked out. I drank like 3 beers in the time. And I wrote a freaking article on Austin Hooper. I was embarrassed. I was like, "What the hell, dude? Like, you let me down." So could have at least got some style points, but no. But he did have like
could have at least gone into the end
zone. Are you bitching about an 80-yard touchdown?
Yeah, I'm bitching about it because he's had
God, it was not good enough.
He had 2 targets for 3 games, and then he had like 5 last week after Julio and Sanu went down. So thank you, Austin Hooper. Finally, you have to wait till freaking all the receivers get injured to start getting targets. So yeah, I'm a little pissed.
It's been a pretty shitty year for tight ends though as well.
Oh man.
Did you think this has been the absolute worst part of the year?
It's like it's either Gronk, Kelsey, and like I might start believing in Clay a little bit since Matthews is gone for the year. But like, boy, howdy, it is just absolutely disgusting.
I think it's time for Tim and I to talk about.
Oh God damn it! I knew it was
on air, baby.
All right, let me take all the wind out of your sails. You're right.
Wait. Frame the discussion first.
Preseason. This goes back to preseason.
Good job, J-Mike.
Preseason, we were looking at based on pure athleticism, offensive lines, quarterbacks. I wasn't sure about my quarterback situation. He was. But I thought Njoku, with that O-line, with the run threat, and just he's an athletic freak. I really thought maybe he would be that guy for the Browns this year. Jake, he signed up for some scrub who you guys probably haven't even heard of called Evan Ingram. And,
who?
Hey, I'm Team Jake on this one.
Yeah,
he didn't even do anything. And so so essentially, yeah, we all know now that Ingram is tearing it up. Dude's having he's on pace. Oh shit, I'm gonna screw this stat up. He is on pace. If he gets either 80 touchdowns or
80 touchdowns would be good.
That would be great.
No, I'm sorry. 80 touchdowns. Yeah, 80 receptions or 800 yards. Either one, he'd be in a list of only 5 people who have done it since 1920.
Yeah, it's almost been 100 years. And Evan Silva just posted yesterday. He's second in targets, third in catches, fifth.
He's tied with Gronk for targets.
Okay. Yeah. And third in catches and fifth in yards at the tight end position. And my whole thing on Ingram was he was the most pro-ready tight end coming out. I mean, he's well-rounded. I think he's a better blocker than people are giving credit for. A lot of people were saying he's not going to be played in line. He's played in line almost every snap for the Giants. I mean, they occasionally split him out, but he's played in line a lot. And he's not a great blocker, but he's willing. And he can run routes. He has a good feel for the game. He's got amazing hands. He can jump. He can go get it. And the thing about Njoku is, and I like him, but he's been playing football for 2 years. I mean, he's playing wide receiver. He's so raw. He's got a ways to go. So, and the thing about, and just props to like playing in Devy leagues is, you fall in love with guys in their college career, then you follow them. And people are probably sick of hearing me say it, but 2 years ago I drafted Kareem Hunt for $1 in our Devy rookie auction and Evan Ingram for $1. So I've had those guys for over 2 years on one of my rosters. And when you follow their career that closely, they're like your guys, and you go to bat for them, and you know them so well as prospects that you're not as surprised and you believe in them when they're coming out. So I can specifically talk about guys that I've owned and I have more knowledge about them. But I mean, obviously I don't have that kind of knowledge about all the rookies, but when, you see your guys come up through the ranks and you just kind of, they're truly your guys. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about playing in Devy leagues is you really have commitment in these guys. It's not just like, well, I drafted them. No, I drafted them, when they were a freshman in college, and I got to see them progress, and it's exciting, man. And to have those guys that you have no idea when you draft them, and then they turn out to be studs. It's like it's exciting, It's like you're a proud papa,
That's really moving. Thank you very much.
Yeah, did you shed a tear there?
I appreciate that speech. I mess with you. No, I love Ingram, man. He's a beast. I love him. He was one of my top owned best ball picks for sure as well. But the thing about it is Zach Ertz is really the talk of the town right now. I mean, he's the one who's really overperformed. I mean, like Ingram as a rookie, but Ertz has overperformed above everybody's expectations. He has 32 targets, leading the league. He has 26 catches, which is leading the league for tight ends. He has 326 yards, leading the league. He's been a baller, man, and everybody was sleeping on him. And of course, Jordan Matthews getting traded at the end, right before the season started, kind of catapulted him. But man, I mean, Zach Ertz, guys, he's who we should be talking about as well.
That's a
one touchdown. One touchdown too.
Yeah, he's not a touchdown guy.
Getting usage. Yeah, no, not,
we had
not
incredible
red zone threat. Shout out to Keaton Denley. That's his guy. So
there you go,
big ups
Keaton.
to you, my man.
No, that's interesting that you say that because I think there were very few people that, well, I don't know, but maybe very few people who believed in just how well he closed the year last year. Ertz that we're talking about, because he closed last season pretty well. But I don't think he was on a lot of people's radar in terms of, hey, is this actually going to carry over and be something that we actually believe in for the tight end position? So that's an interesting point there.
Why isn't Zach Ertz a red zone threat? I mean, the dude's 6'5", 250 pounds, and he's got hands for days. Like, why is he not a tight end or a red zone threat?
Some players just have a feel for that part of the field, and some people don't. I mean,
is it the player? Is it the player or the system?
I mean, he's got one
Alshon
touchdown less than Gronkowski.
I don't think he scored that many touchdowns in college, though, either. Did he?
I don't know.
I don't believe he did. I
don't think he's ever going to be like going to hit double digits. Like 8 might be like his ceiling at the very best, but I don't know. I mean, he's just like a PPR stud. I mean, we could say the same probably about Kelsey. I don't know that he's like a, I don't know, red zone monster.
Yeah, that was his issue for forever, that people kind of avoided him because he wasn't getting used in the red zone.
Yeah, I think that's more system than the player, though.
Agreed. Yeah. But Kelsey has that threat where if it's, you could be 30, 35, 40 yards out. He's got moves for days. He can still get into the end zone. Like he's a red zone threat 15 yards out of the red zone. So He's got wide receiver moves.
Yeah, for sure he does. And he's he puts that on the dance floor as well, or in the end zone.
That was a good looking celebration, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I liked it.
I think
I like the team celebration.
Funny.
He's kind of does the same kind of dance, he just swivels his hips a lot.
While we're on
celebration, a couple of these every once in a while too.
While we're on celebrations, can we talk about Juju Smith-Schuster? Yeah, dude, that had to be the best one, right?
Yeah, but I thought that was Street Fighter.
Was it Street Fighter? I'm with
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I thought it was
I'm too old for that era.
I thought it was. Can we Street Fighter, right?
No, so all of us in the 30 and above probably did. We all thought it was Street Fighter.
He's like, I love Dragon Ball Z.
He came out. Yeah,
shut up.
He came out on Twitter and said, "Hey, or like this or retweet this if you knew that was Dragon Ball Z."
Oh, did
people were like, "What?" And then people started posting all the pictures and whatnot of it. So. Yeah, all of us fuddy duddies were thinking the Hadouken, all that good stuff.
Thanks a lot, Jay.
That dude's like 20 years old. It's all right. But Street Fighter's a good reference too. And they re-released it like this past year, didn't they? They put it out again.
Don't they re-release it every year now?
Do they? I don't know.
Are we on Street Fighter 85?
Plus, they've got the Marvel versus Capcom game that literally, I'm pretty sure, come out with a new one every year. So.
You got Blanca hurling his fucking walker at people.
I don't know. I know we were showing a lot of Vikings love earlier. Do you guys? I have a question because I feel like one of these guys will not end up in the top 5 of wide receivers this year. Can you guys name the top 5 PPR wide receivers right now? Obviously, Diggs is number 1.
I know Green's in there too.
Yeah, Antonio Brown's number 2. AJ Green's number 4. Can you name 3 and 5?
Thielen's got to be up there, right?
No.
Thielen is 12.
He's 12.
Yeah. Wow.
Diggs is. Who was the first two?
So we got Diggs at number 1. We've got Antonio Brown at number 2, and somebody said AJ Green, who's at number 4.
Yeah.
Do we know 3 and 5?
Is Hopkins in there?
Hopkins number 3. At number 5.
That's crazy.
Then I was thinking
Jordy Nelson 6.
Oh, wow.
Right there on the bubble. I feel like this guy's kind of
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill's number 8.
Fitz
is number 7. You guys are hitting all around it. A huge hint here. This guy is on bye this week.
Oh, Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas. So I was a little surprised because I feel like Michael Thomas has had the quietest, really good season so far.
That's what he is, though. He's a consistent, give you 15 to 20 points every week, but he's not going to put up 30-point weeks,
He's definitely the whisperer. He's so quiet.
so creepy.
Yeah,
Then it got really quiet on this.
I wish you would have let your hair down again before you said that.
If you would have let your hair down and then said it, oh man, I'd have
Can you let the viewers see the Fabio? Let loose Fabio right now.
I'd be out.
Okay.
Yet another reason why, if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast catcher, this is why you need to check us out on YouTube. We've got a live show Wednesday nights. And shout out to everybody in the chat with us. We've got the usual suspects. Casey's in the building. Mike Stepney on last week's episodes in the building. Cody, good old Cody Kutzer. He's in the building as well. So yes, check it out.
All right, come on, take control, Gabe. Let me hear it.
What? Sorry, I was just letting my hair down.
There we go. I had to get a good print screen.
Casey in the chat said, "Hey, you need to find a shampoo sponsor."
Hey, Pantene Pro V1. This is the Dynasty Happy Hour Open Bar. If you're looking, I'm single. My hairs are in singles, baby.
Might want to start off realistic. Go for like Perk Plus.
As long as it's not like an all-in-one, like body, shampoo, and conditioner.
No, that's the perfect commercial, though. You and Odell Beckham in a Head and Shoulders commercial in the shower together, back to back, and it's an all-in-one shampoo conditioner. Yes, that's perfect.
Oh, God.
You drop it. He catches it with one hand. There it is. It's money.
Odell, you're not one to drop the soap.
Okay. J Mike's out. Great. We lost J Mike. I hope you're happy, Gabe.
I can't, man. Oh my gosh. Anyway. Anyway, of those five guys, do you see any of those five guys falling out of the wide receiver one race here?
By the end of the season, or what are we talking about?
Yes, end of season. Or rest of season, I should say.
If Marty McBride starts catching some of those long touchdowns, Antonio might not have an opportunity to catch his. But no, I don't think he's going to leave. I'm just kind of saying something. I don't know. That's a pretty good top five, or at least top 10, right? Those five guys should stick around. I mean, they're all like the number one guy on their team. Like, I don't see why they should be going anywhere, you know?
Yeah, Diggs just has to stay healthy.
Sure. Yeah. Barring injury.
Is there anybody that you so high on, even in Dynasty or redraft? When do you get out of the Antonio Brown business?
Well, Tim would trade Hopkins for Carson. So I'm still cleaning up the puke
last
from
week,
last
didn't
week.
it? Oh shit!
I'm still cleaning.
I missed a lot last week. Man.
Oh my God!
Tim was doing the Carson garbage.
In my defense, had he not gotten hurt, he would have established his role. He would have established his role as
for
the
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, because dude, it's more of a quarterback situation for me. DeAndre Hopkins is awesome, but I want to get on the Deshaun Watson train. I really do, but it's been 2 games that he's.
I'm not a Deshaun Watson guy either.
I don't know. When I look at
what was the debate?
It was
Hopkins versus
we were throwing out a bunch of who would you
have over Chris Carson, and Tim basically said like Kareem Hunt. That's it.
We were talking about possible trade destinations. So
wait, I think I had one other receiver too. I can't remember.
It was Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas that we talked about. But yeah, he said he'd take Chris Carson over DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. And if he was still healthy today, I would still make that decision.
But tell me your butthole wasn't so clenched tight when Eddie Lacy had all the first quarter work.
That was weird to start off. Not the comment. That was funny.
That's exactly why I don't want anything to do with the Seahawks backfield.
I was astute. Yes. I was astute.
Have we learned nothing from the last 2 years from Seattle and their running backs? I mean, how often do you get hyped up about guys and then they just disappear in that backfield?
Yeah, well, that's the problem is they've all disappeared already. There was nobody else. Like you were talking about a guy who out of the beginning of the season was probably the best running back there. And they finally, for whatever stupid reason, worked their way down to him. And so he legitimately could have been a strong RB1.
Yeah, but
I get it. Their offensive line can't pass block. So they had to have a strong running game, and he has hands. And so to me, it was like he was a safety valve, right, for Russell Wilson. He is one of the more talented backs when he's healthy. It all sort of made sense that in a PPR format, he could have been an absolute monster. And I'll give you this. It was more of a floor play week to week than a ceiling for Hopkins. Hopkins has a better ceiling, but I don't think Hopkins has
you don't get a better floor than 48 targets. He's leading the league in targets.
And that's the thing about Deshaun is he doesn't necessarily go through all his reads, and that's why he just peppers Hopkins with targets. He goes to where he's comfortable with.
He has 6 more targets than Antonio Brown. He has 1 more catch than Antonio Brown. 1 more touchdown than Antonio Brown. I mean,
that's fair. That's fair.
But anyways, this is all hindsight, whatever. But Carson, in your defense, Carson, I was intrigued by him. He looked pretty good. I did a little bit of film watching of him, and I was like, man, he's definitely the running back to own over there. And then he gets hurt, but he was creating the most opportunity with what he had. Terrible offensive line. He definitely was going to be the catalyst of that running game. So I'll give you that. So for sure.
And it was when we made that call, I was like, God, I don't even want to say this. It was like it was literally like this. I mean, it's not like, man, Chris Carson is clear cut over DeAndre Hopkins. It wasn't like that,
It was probably like, like you're watching him, got excited about him. I've done it before. Like Hopkins isn't necessarily sexy right now with, I get it. But he is racking up the targets and production comes from targets. So gotta roll with that RW or WR1.
Strongest correlation for a top wide receiver is targets. That's going to happen. Absolutely. I guess you could be a little concerned maybe with Will Fuller's emergence and he's back, and I don't think they're going to play 80 snaps a game like they did.
That was the other
57 points. So
you're right.
You might see you could, I guess, just see a small dip in targets, if anything, just to be wary, but I don't see it. I easily see him as a top 10 guy the rest of the way.
Do you guys think Tymont is actually going to come back and play this weekend? Broken ribs?
He's gonna try.
You think he'll try? God.
I mean,
seems
I
pretty silly to me.
I don't necessarily think that he should, or they probably won't, but they'll probably mix in guys. I mean, they'll probably have, Jamal's trying to fight through the injury too, so I don't know. It'll be kind of a mix.
Have you guys ever had broken ribs?
Mm-mm.
I hear it's incredibly painful. So
yeah, I was in a car wreck and I broke 3 ribs. And it hurt when I farted. So, I mean, I can't even, I start crying, right? I'd eat Chipotle and I'd start crying after that. I can imagine.
You don't need broken ribs from
everyone
that.
cries after eating Chipotle, just to be fair.
True.
Are you sure you didn't break your ribs from your fart? Or I'm confused. Which one happened first?
I might have broke my ribs from Chipotle. Yeah, exactly. But I don't that. It really is one of the even if they're hairline fractures. I mean, if they're small fractures, that is so damn painful. Even with pads, you're right. I think anybody that plays him this week they're hanging on to what he's done so far and not what a really, really injured running back can do.
Yeah,
so
why wouldn't they just be cautious with him? And I mean, I think Aaron Jones is fully capable of taking that workload at least for a game. I mean. And see what you have in the rookie. If he's not good, just rely on Rodgers to dink and dunk and make extensions of that pass game, extensions of the run game through the pass game, and just let Montgomery heal. I mean, I had concerns about Montgomery. I was probably too low on him this offseason, but he's shown incredibly well. But again, I don't know if he – I mean, I know, breaking your ribs is pretty freak, but – I don't know if you should be giving him that many touches anyways. They were riding him into the dirt, and maybe they learn a little bit and then, give him a little break here. And then once he comes back, still continue to give Aaron Jones and maybe Jamal Williams some touches.
This will be interesting to see Aaron Jones in pass protection because that's the one thing that was holding back Ty Montgomery when he first started. This year he's been great in pass protection, but with Aaron Rodgers, if you don't pass protect, man, he's gonna probably have you off the field. but yeah, I'm interested. I mean, Aaron Jones is a phenomenal talent. I just want to make sure that he can kind of protect in those situations for Aaron Rodgers. So that'll be interesting to see, but he's definitely got the talent.
Yeah, he struggled with that at UTEP. I'm curious, but is Jamal Williams actually playing? Because I know his knee was hurt. Did they say anything?
It sounds like he's probable. It sounds like he's kind of more on the probable side. I think it sounds like he's going to probably play. I don't know.
Which he was a really good pass blocker in college.
That was one of his strengths. So I mean, for that alone, he might get on the field. He hasn't shown much at all, other than that. So it'll be interesting. You might even see Ripkowski, the fullback, in there too.
Did you guys see that tweet with him doing that move that tried to do that stutter step?
No.
Oh yeah, he was like,
that was so funny.
It was stutter step.
Didn't you say that's what I imagined I would look like if I did that? Was that you?
It was fucking awesome.
You guys got to look that up. It was so funny.
It wasn't
Tim
even
is completely right.
It wasn't even his ball hand. He was like, oh.
He just did this juke move to fake out a defender, and it was so slow the defender didn't even react to it. It's the way we would look if we tried to smooth and agile.
Hey, I got to tell you what, though. Go back to Aaron Jones for a second, just for I know this is a dynasty podcast, which I have no business being on.
Hey, don't put us in that box, Tim. We talk.
Okay, no, you're right. Are you right? You're right. No, you did. You corrected me last time, but I forget a lot of shit from last time. I think, like saying stupid things like Chris Carson over DeAndre Hopkins. But you're talking about a guy. He played 13 snaps, had 49 yards, which wasn't impressive. But I think they sent a clear message that even if Jamal Williams comes back fairly healthy, I think Aaron Jones is the guy, and doesn't being the guy in one of the best offenses in the NFL, or maybe the best offense in the NFL, isn't that worth playing at least in week 5? And
I'm starting him this week just because I lost Cook. Yeah. I have no depth. I have Kareem Hunt and Cook, and I was like, if these guys stay healthy, I might win a championship. And it was a dispersal. Gabe, I talked about this league on the grab bag when I joined you.
Okay.
The team I didn't think I was going to compete, it was a dispersal. But I got lucky. I drafted Dalvin and Kareem Hunt, and all of a sudden I was, I'm 3-1, I think, in that league. But I was like, if one of these guys goes down, I'm dead because I have no depth at running back. So I have to start Aaron Jones. I have nobody else. So I'm having my fingers crossed, at least for this week.
I'm with you. Did anybody lose Tymont and Dalvin?
No.
I did one of my home leagues. That's one of the worst. That was the most disappointing league. Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah,
yep, I don't know
fantasy
football
is
in
so
one
fragile.
league. And I have for leagues I have Tymo. I also have Aaron Jones or Jamal Williams. So fine, I guess.
What really made it better though is even though I lost Tymont and I lost Cook, at least I had Bilal Powell benched. So
that made you feel better.
That made everything better. Yeah.
That's been the story of my Scott Fishbowl league. I've had Stephon Diggs, went off for 30-something points on my bench. I don't know. I've had several of those stupid decisions.
Yeah, my SFB is just brutal. Plagued with injury and just awful.
I finally scored a respectable amount of points this week. And didn't get entirely lucky.
Oh yeah, and I lost by 0.1 last week because I needed 3.7 points out of Crowder and Thompson, and they gave me 3.6 together combined.
Oh my god, that's.
And I was actually going to be 3-1 in the SFB, and my team's garbage. And I was just like, well, it's done now.
Oh, brother, I'm sorry.
I was listening to you, but I got distracted and I saw Gabe stroking his hair in the background and he was literally swooping it around. I was like, what is going on? I totally distracted. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah. See, I was pouring a drink. I didn't even see it. I just heard it.
the swoosh.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
Nike's about to endorse his hair.
Nike's in the hair business.
They will be.
What are and this is kind of a hard right turn, but one, I feel like there's several guys who have been incredibly disappointed at this point. What are we doing with Amari Cooper? Like, I mean,
what can you do with him?
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Here's what we're doing with Amari Cooper. We're trying to trade him, and people are laughing at us. That's what's happened because we want Amari value from years past. Probably, at least I did. I've been trying to dump him off in one league, and I'm actually sort of offended by some of the no's that I've got. I'm like, I'll give you Amari Cooper for your kicker. I'm like, nah, it's cool. I'm good. Like obviously but I just, he doesn't seem for me to just have any value right now.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, Dynasty, I mean, you just got to hang on. Redraft, you may as well sell them for what you can for some kind of production, because I'd imagine, you might be in a situation that you're like 2-2, 1-3, and you still got Amari on your team, and you need production, and it's not going to happen with EJ Manuel there.
If you don't have depth, it sucks because it's like you have to start him. It's like an SFB. I have to start him, and he's giving me decimal points the last couple of weeks.
I mean, I don't think you can really trade him right now. I mean, you don't want to trade him at the bottom of their value, right?
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, he's
redraft one thing.
You gotta hang on, man. You gotta hang on.
I'm okay with selling and redraft. I'm totally okay with that.
I mean, what are you gonna get though? I mean,
there's been guys on the waiver wire I was happier with than Amari at this point. It's like he just unless he has a healthy quarterback thrown to him all year long and he is a clear-cut number one and Crabtree isn't cutting in, then I don't know. Like I'm struggling to see his value so far this year. And I know like I should probably be more patient, but like how long are you going to be patient, especially in redraft, which is pretty much all I play, redraft and best ball and stuff like that. But in redraft, how long can you afford to be patient with Cooper?
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to sell him just off his name value to the right person and get a decent piece for him in redraft. I mean, especially if you get if you have a Raiders fan in your league. Like before last week, I actually offered in one of my dynasty leagues just because I wanted to get a sense. I didn't propose it. I just talked to my buddy. He's a Raiders fan. I was like, "What do you think about Gurley for Cooper?" I was like, "This is one-time offer," because I was like, buying low on Amari Cooper was just not a bad thing, and Todd Gurley's bound to drop off at least a little bit. He's like, "Hell no." I was like, all right, man. I was like, what about?
You heard it here first, guys. If a Raiders fan says hell no, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
All right. I want to hear this. Assuming you could kind of try to trade him away in a redraft league, if you could get this player, would you take it? Amari Cooper for Devin Funchess.
No.
Cooper.
Oh my!
Come on. Oh, come on. That's
disgusting.
At least you could at least get something, and you could probably get a top 30 wide receiver. We think Cooper's going to be, so you're assuming that Cooper's going to be fine and be at least a top 30 wide receiver then.
I think if
you're asking if he's going to finish ahead or, of Funchess, then yeah, absolutely.
Have you seen the targets for Funchess the last couple of weeks with Olsen out?
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
He had 6 targets last week.
He had what? No, he had
6.
10.
6.
Last week he had 10.
Funchess had 10 targets last week.
I think he had 10 last week. This past
week,
week, and like 9 the one before.
Yeah, I was gonna say 19 targets the last 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
He also dropped a beautiful pass by Cam last week too.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, but also Funchess was. Let's bear in mind, like he can't play New England's defense every week, so you're talking about a defense that just absolutely fucking sucks.
That's a fair point. Last 2 weeks he had New Orleans and
New England
Yeah.
Like you want to use that as your benchmark for how good a receiver is.
Like I'm with you, Gabe, in that Olsen's not there. Like obviously opportunity abounds, but.
But I mean, Okay, well, we'll keep trying. I'll try and get you guys on one. How about Rashard Matthews?
He had 9 targets. Sorry.
7. Yeah, he
You're
went
right.
7 for 9 for 70 yards, 2 TDs.
My bad.
Cooper.
It's all right. J Mike's
Yeah,
used to that too.
still Cooper.
Still
'Cause the
Cooper
thing- the
over
thing
Rashard
with-
Matthews.
Yeah.
See, so I don't know. We're getting in. Both of those guys are top 30 at their position, and I think it's fair that they could end like that. So I mean, I don't know what you would want if you're. I know that you're saying that you would just have to hold on, but maybe you should get some value out of it. So what do you want? Like there's not a whole lot left because guys who are actually producing and who had the draft capital already, you're not going to be able to sell them for that. You're not going to be able to get, Doug Baldwin. You're not going to be able to get Alshon Jeffrey, Golden Tate, Emmanuel Sanders.
I think you might be able to get. I mean, the thing is, a lot of redrafts aren't we playing with like home leagues redraft? I mean, for the most part, aren't you playing with buddies and they probably don't pay nearly as much attention as we do. They're probably not, maybe not even on Twitter at all. So I think you can sell off a name value in a lot of home leagues. I would think. I mean, I don't really even play redraft anymore, but I have to
Amari
think
Cooper dropped in one of my leagues 2 weeks ago.
No, you did not.
Yeah.
No.
I've actually seen that too in redraft, and that's kind of my point. Is like it's really hard to get
crazy
when you're bringing up these would you rather's. As far as trades go, I don't think you're going to get receiver value for Cooper. I think you're going to have to find somebody who needs a receiver who is heavy at running back, and they're willing to give you somebody like you might get even after a week like last week, considering this whole year, you might get a guy like Powell or
what about Christian McCaffrey?
You would get McCaffrey. I don't know if that's a better value, but
he's a really good slot receiver.
Yeah, that's a flex for a flex, and I think McCaffrey's a better flex player at this point than Cooper is. Isn't that crazy? Did I just call fucking Amari Cooper a flex player? But he is right now at best.
At best. What about Latavius, the new hot ad?
No.
Look, when the Vikings fan says no, I'm out.
I'm rooting for a high draft pick at this point.
Yeah.
A quick question. Okay, this is a random fact. Okay, so what running back leads the league in targets?
Kamara.
I mean, that was going to be my guess too.
Yeah, either that
or Cohen,
or maybe Todd Gurley.
Thompson. No,
Cohen's close.
It might be
Cohen's very close.
Gurley,
not Gurley.
Thompson.
Kamara was close. Cohen was very close.
Duke Johnson.
Duke Johnson's very close. He's top 5. Andre Ellington. Andre Ellington has 29 targets. McCaffrey has 28. Cohen has 28. Duke Johnson has 26. Kamara has 26.
And that's really in like 2 weeks.
Right?
Golly.
So, anyways, I just thought that was random, but just kind of out of this world. Andre Ellington has the most targets out of running backs.
That is
you take Ellington over Cooper?
Isn't it crazy that we're even like somewhat
I know that's
about that?
Oh, how the mighty
I'm excited to revisit this at the end of the season because
it just feels like the
I want to know
classic
where Funches
overreaction.
Fuck y'all on Funches.
That was my bad.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think you were pretty upset that we were not behind you on that fun.
Well, the number 2 receiver for the Panther. It's funny, like once Greg Olsen goes down, we're rooting for. We're talking about the number 2 Panthers receiver from everybody's favorite Raiders receiver. It's just crazy. Former
like,
Raider.
Funches or Cooper? Cooper. Why we can't even talk about it? We can't even talk about it.
So pissed. Go back to playing with your hair.
Oh.
I'm kidding. We love it.
Whatever, guys.
We love it.
Did I just hear?
Can you act like what is Nick Schwartzen on Reno 911? What's his name?
You want me to go put my shorts on?
Yes.
Oh, yes, and no.
The new hotness. Thursday night game, Patriots Buccaneers.
Woo! That's gonna be man,
I'm
55
excited for that one. I think that'll
total,
actually.
man.
I hope we see what we're
Actually be
hoping
good,
to
Jay Mike.
see, expecting to see.
The point total keeps going up. So
I was just about to say, Pano, I saw where it was 55. Are we taking the over on that?
yeah, I think so.
The Patriots are good for 30, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's it's crazy talking about Thursday night football being these high scoring contests, but look at the Rams, what they did as well. But yeah, I mean, looks like Patriots. I would go with 30 right now. That's where they're at, the implied live total.
Yeah. And I tell you what, man, in this game, I'm all over Hogan. Like he's to me, this is the guy I don't. I mean, he's got a
Wide receiver 9.
He's
right?
he's got a touchdown in all of his last 3 games. Bucks are allowing the most touchdowns to receivers right now. I mean, this is to me, this is a golden matchup for him.
And this would be the week I start him for the first time in my dynasty league, and he's gonna have a shitty game. I just know. Yeah, I'll start him over.
What do you mean?
Allen and Baldwin and Martavis and a bunch of guys, and he'll have a shitty game.
I think deserve to have a shitty game not playing him before now.
I got a good team. Man.
I know, son. You got one of those all-star teams. Sorry, Jake. Jeez. Forgot who I'm talking to.
He's like, I wish I could start Melvin Gordon. I just can't.
You got Kareem Hunt in my bench every week.
Is this a Deshaun Jackson breakout spot?
Yeah. I think so, man. I mean, you want all the freaking Evans and Jackson. I don't know. I honestly like even Humphreys and Cameron Brate. I kind of like the slot receivers in that offense are going to be a nice spot.
Yeah, or Nate fantasy football. He's got Humphreys slotted. Man, Gabe, you've done it again. He's slotted for a nice little outing here for the Patriots. That's his guy to start this week. So shout out to you, Nate. Hopefully that comes through.
The Connor Allen, the former fantasy matrix guy, he said the Bucks are first in passing success rate, 55% this season. The Patriots defense ranks 31st in passing success rate allowed, 55%. So the Patriots offense ranks 4th in passing success rate, 51%. The Bucks defense ranks 32nd in passing success rate allowed at 55%. This is like just this beautiful, just meeting of like terrible defenses. Like the weaknesses are just matching up with the strengths. So it's going to be a pretty good matchup. So it should be a lot of scoring and it should be a lot of fantasy points. So start all of your Bucks and Patriots.
Doug Martin.
I was exactly. Even
it's coming.
Dougie. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. It doesn't sound like he's had a lot of practice. I wouldn't feel too confident with that just yet, but I don't know. It's coming.
Would you start Quiz over him or just not mess with it at all?
I don't know, man. I think I'd probably feel more confident with Quiz this game, but in the future, definitely Martin. I don't know. I have to kind of keep an eye on that one, but I don't know. I don't feel confident just yet starting Doug.
You want to see it first.
What's that?
You just want to see it out of Doug Martin first.
Yeah,
See what his usage is.
I agree.
Yeah. He almost feels like one of those guys though. Like if you're sitting on a 1-3, 0-4 team, you just throw him in just for the sake of I gotta have something. Like I can't keep getting 7 from Frank Gore and watching Paul Perkins do Paul Perkins things.
His direct quote was he's not sure how many snaps he'll play in Thursday night's game against the Patriots. He said, I'm going to go out there and just do the best I can do and be as ready as I can be, just play for these guys. I'm not sure how many snaps. I'm just going to go out there and play, blah, 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 blah.
That was Doug Martin saying that?
Yeah. This was 2 days ago.
And Jameis, I think, said he expects him to get, bulk of the carries, right?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you just don't know.
But even if he gets the bulk of the carries, let's not underestimate. Like, look at the 2 guys that we expected monster seasons from this year who missed most of preseason or most of the beginning of the year: Le'Veon Bell, Jay Ajayi. Like you're talking, like you can't discount these guys that haven't come in and played like that didn't get a full season, didn't have a normal start to their season. Like I feel like Doug Martin is going to be one of those guys that's sort of a slow starter, even if he does come back. So I'm hesitant for that reason. Is the guy hasn't played, he hasn't taken a real NFL hit in how long?
Yeah, I mean, Ajayi's been like, he's getting no help from his offensive line. He's doing it all after contact.
Right, and I didn't mean to diss Ajayi. Just mean like he hasn't had a normal start to an NFL season.
Sure. You know,
I
get you.
That's all I mean. That's like versus guys that have been able to go through OTAs, go through preseason, go through the first part of the season is like, you know, that has an impact when you're not taking those hits and you're not in game shape. And that is what worries me most about Doug Martin.
This is a killer spot for him, man. I think Hightower might, on the defensive side, might step back in, so it hurts him a little bit. But I mean, man, this is a killer spot for him. You just kind of have to, I guess, wait to see what they say tomorrow. But man, he'll probably split, to be honest. But if he plays well, then he should lock it down.
And it looks like they let in a lot of receptions rather than kind of yards and points. So, you know, Kareem Hunt had that huge week 1, but other than that, they've kind of relatively held at least the runner in check, but not so much in the passing game. So there's not much of that for Tampa. You know, they've got Charles Sims, but whatever. So,
and if you're playing a team like New England, who's allowed over 335 passing yards per game, are you focusing on your running game? That's the other side of
that funnel defense kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sneaky stat here. Jameis Winston has only played in 3 games, and he's not thrown an interception in 2 of the 3 games, which I feel like is kind of crazy considering how turnover prone he is. I don't love Jameis Winston at all, and I debated. And it's funny we're bringing up old episodes of Grab Bag Fantasy, but I had a dilemma in my Superflex startup draft this summer to take Jameis in I think it was like 2nd or 3rd round, and I passed on him, and I felt kind of crappy about it after the fact. I don't know how I feel about Jameis going forward, like just in general, particularly just down the line as a career goes. I don't know if he ever figures out this whole turnover, make good decisions, be accurate thing, or if it's like I'll be like Donovan McNabb-esque to where I'm pretty good, but my accuracy is really going to get me in trouble in like tight spots. Like I don't know what to think about Jameis Winston.
He's like a gunslinger, like almost in the mold of Brett Favre. Like
nailed it.
I don't think you're gonna change the way he plays football. And I think you're going to live and die with it. He's going to look amazing, and he's going to look bad too at times, which is difficult as a NFL franchise and as a fantasy owner to trust week to week. But in plus matchups, you got to like him. You got to love him. You got to love him this week.
Dirk Cutter does not want him to throw the rock too many times. Like if it was in his perfect world, like I think he would be limited. I think he would be running the ball a lot more. And you saw that last season towards the end of the year, like he was really trying to run the ball, but hasn't really been able to do that as well. And whenever Jameis has been, kind of carrying the team, he's I don't know, he's had his ups and downs. So it's interesting to see, I guess, that dynamic, him and Cutter kind of trying to coexist.
Tim, you like Jameis?
I don't think anybody could have said it better than Jake. I think the Brett Favre analogy is perfect. Difference being, Jameis probably has a little bit better legs and can probably get in that offense. He's probably not getting a lot more design runs, but in those broken plays, I think you're going to pick up some more red zone touchdowns from him. So, yeah, I'm a quarterback streamer. Like I don't draft quarterbacks early. I stream all the time, so I'm the worst guy to probably talk about this because I can't pick Jameis up anywhere. But do I like him if I'm a guy that picked him up? Yeah, because of his weapons. I mean, just because of his weapons, I like him. So I think I would probably roll the dice on his. He reminds me of Cam in a way where like you knew Cam had legs, you knew Cam could throw, but you also knew that Cam was always going to overthrow. Like you knew that was part of the game, and that kind of reminds me of that. So
I do like his swagger though and his approach. I like confidence out of a cornerback like that thinks they can make every throw and they're not scared to make plays. You get so many guys that are just like dink and dunk, almost like too careful, like Alex Smith, and then finally like he's letting it rip a little bit this season. So I like to see that out of a quarterback.
I think it shows confidence in his receivers. It's like, is that more confidence in me or confidence in the guy that's going to go up and get it? And I think it's probably for him more about the guys that goes up and get it. And why wouldn't you with that team? So crab legs.
The thing you got to be careful is that
sorry,
Brett Favre is great. And he threw a lot of picks.
Crab leg my way out and out of here.
I always picture the crab walk like back in like elementary school. You had to like do that.
Around the football field. My God, the worst.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, man, if there's anything I'm gonna shove down my pants, it's not gonna be some damn crab legs. Damn, that sounds. That's two different problems you have.
Maybe there. Crabs, but not crab legs.
Yeah, maybe like some imitation crab. That sounds like fun.
Oh Lord.
Oh, did I cross that line? Am I there? Damn, I'm there.
Yeah.
There's no line. There's no line on this podcast. There's zero line.
No.
It's been snuffed out to this point, I would imagine.
Hey, what do you guys think about Alex Collins?
He's alive.
For now. On that,
is he the new Chris Carson for you?
No. But the thing is, I want him to be.
I know.
I want him to be.
You need somebody to replace him. You're like, damn it, I need a new Chris Carson.
No,
trade him for Crabtree.
I want a mediocre running back to trade for DeAndre Hopkins.
Todd Gurley's my new Chris Carson. No, but Alex Collins. I want Alex Collins to be good because I'm an Arkansas Razorbacks fan. But I remember I was talking to my dad during the game, and he looked good. He didn't look great. But for somebody you're going to bring in, he ran the ball 9 times for 82 yards, was serviceable, looked fairly good. And I think he's going to get a lot of volume. But I was texting my dad, and I was like, you remember Alex Collins, so he's going to fumble the ball eventually, right? And I shit you not, it was 3 plays later, boom, the ball pops out. And it's like, God damn it, this guy has not learned anything. But if he can keep that that ball control, I think he's actually I loved him when he was in Arkansas. I think he's actually an NFL ready running back on that offense. And so, what do you guys think about him?
I liked him coming out of college too, and he went in the second round in some rookie drafts that year. And I mean, was he the 5th round pick by the Seahawks? I believe.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I like him out of college.
That's all I have to say. The Ravens suck.
You're right. The Ravens suck. That's
we've gone from Javorius Allen, Buck Allen to now we're talking about Alex Collins. We've had Danny Woodhead go down. We've had
Danny Woodhead.
God, man.
But if you go back to Danny Woodhead,
the Ravens just suck. Stay away from the Ravens.
Danny Woodhead was having a monster game up until that point, though.
I mean, that's what he does. That's what he does.
For 80 catches.
We all knew he was going to be good for the couple plays he was healthy. No, I mean he's.
God, you just made me realize Woodhead was on the same team that I lost Cook.
Man.
But I mean, what do we expect from a 30-year-old running back, who's had multiple ACL and knee injuries and stuff like that? We all we can't just say man, you can't predict injuries. Yes, you can in this situation. He's 32 years old and he had multiple injuries, knee injuries. He's going to get hurt. We didn't expect him to get hurt that quick.
Exactly. I think that's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, maybe at least 6 games, but no, couldn't even get anything.
I know I sure as hell didn't expect it.
I guess the one thing that worries me about Collins is the fact that 9 carries, 0 receptions the last 2 weeks. Like that's not volume that you can trust at all. So maybe he does get increased
snaps.
Yeah. So maybe he does get increased workload if they take from Terrence West, but I feel like again, I think we've hit on this several times. Ravens are just so hands off. I don't want any of it, and I don't care to be burned by it either.
It sucks because if they had Brandon Williams is like healthy, that defense is like really good.
Yes.
And if they had anything on offense, Flacco didn't have that, injury before, and I don't know if they were just good on offense or serviceable, they might be a playoff contender, but they're just so bad on offense. It's just, they're not going to be, I don't know. They got to get rid of Flacco, get rid of that contract, and move on, to be honest.
Oh, God.
That's just my thinking. Flacco, they are holding on for dear life, trying to make something work with Flacco, but that contract is so bad, and he's so not elite.
What are they gonna do? What are the Ravens going to do? They do, like, Flacco's terrible. They brought Macklin in, and he didn't even look for. I don't. Oh my
God! They've been trying to build this team around Flacco and like salvage it, dude. Like,
and
screwed.
They can't sign any of their offensive linemen every year because they're paying all this money to Flacco, and it's just their offensive lineman. It's just decimated. So
yeah,
he's got zero chance.
Yeah, I agree. They really gotta cut bait. I don't even know what the the dead money they would have with getting rid of him. I don't even know if that's in the picture for them, but they really need to start over with that.
They got to go the way of the Browns.
They have a strong defensive core that they need to, get serious about. They got the defense.
Exactly. Maximize that. Oh my.
What IPA are you drinking there, Joe?
Right now I'm on the Lagunitas little something ale.
I like that one.
I
thought I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? Little something, you know what I'm saying?
That is a good beer.
Yeah, thank you. It is a good beer. So anyway.
Yeah,
man, Ravens suck.
Yeah, Ravens are awful. They can, and you don't know if they're going to keep up with the game or get completely blown out by the Jaguars. It's just like so weird. And so if they do keep up with the game, you have more of like an Alex Collins, Terrence West, and if they're behind, you got Buck Allen, which was kind of the case with the Steelers game, and he played over half the snaps. So it's just, ugh.
Yep. My favorite thing to talk about is like I love the off season. I don't know why. I'm just a freak about the off season. I love like speculating about, what teams are doing, the general managers, what their, their type of, how much salary cap they got, how much, what they can do to improve. And during the off season, man, I saw a lot of positive things happen for the Jaguars. Didn't see necessarily as much as I was hoping to see on the offensive line and things like that, and still had Bortles, but the defense was coming together, and so was the Ravens. I was excited about those two things, but still the offensive side of the ball was kind of, a big question mark. The Jaguars, at least, they added Fournette, so I could tell that they were going to start, being able to run the ball and being a little bit more competent on offense, at least in like that ball control, kind of Dallas kind of style of last year. But the Ravens, they were really just all in on Flacco. So it was just like, man, they're handicapped, man. They're strapped. So I don't know. We'll see how it is next year, what they decide to do, and if they can free up some cap space. We'll see.
And once they get Kenneth Dixon back too, I mean, then things will clear up. Things will be better. They'll have a run game. So that's good too.
Is that what we said last year too? Or this? I don't know, man. Dixon, at this point, I don't know if he's in the plans.
That's what Gabe is hanging on to, Pano.
Yep.
Yeah, he's out, dude.
It's like him and like Matt Jones, like those, and Jerick McKinnon, like those are my three buds,
Carlos Hyde, you're hitting on him right now.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you named one good running back.
If you truly love the game, you got to be able to let them go, my man.
Yeah, let them go, bro. If they come back, they were yours. Isn't that how that goes? That DMX song?
Guys, I'm married. Totally
something like that. I kind of summarized the DMX song, right?
That's pretty close. It's about right.
DMX was my boy, by the way.
But not in a DMX voice. I think that's what we need, Pano.
What's that?
Not in a DMX voice though. So I
Oh,
think
right,
that's what
right.
we need from you, like right now.
For me, no, man. That's all you. I'm pretty sure like you.
Can you
that's
bark?
your territory?
Can you bark?
Poor DMX. I'm not gonna do him like that, man. That guy is like, he's
I used to love
struggling.
DMX
He's struggling,
when I was a
man.
little kid
That was my
too,
dude.
man.
Slipping, falling, got to get up.
There we go. There we go, man.
Wow,
I
really?
had,
I mean, who didn't think he wasn't playing the long game? Not see that coming. I saw him as a savvy investor.
all right. So, what kind of? Let's get something juicy here. Let's get something juicy. What you got for us, J Mike? You got anything? Any other nuggets? You got any other
Close it out, J
spots
Mike.
you want to talk about?
Yeah, I do. There's one more I want to talk about. And Jake, it's very fitting that we talk about this while you're on here. The big homie himself, Jared Goff. So this is us running our victory lap, and we were saying, hey, the Rams aren't going to be so terrible this year. We didn't think we thought the offense had potential. I won't sit here and act like we thought they'd be looking this good. Their first true test, hosting Seattle. Do we are we? I don't know. I don't know if this necessarily changes how we feel about Gurley and Goff or anybody else. But I have Watkins on plenty of teams, and I'm really, really sour about it. Probably not starting him this week. But are we fully buying the Rams' resurgence?
Yeah, I believe in McVay. It's amazing what a coach can do for a team. I mean, going from Jeff Fisher to McVay, who knows how to play, call plays and instill confidence and do, call the plays that his players can perform at. And I think that's what you have to do is you got to have a system that, brings out the best of your players and not try to, fit a square peg into a round hole and make these players do stuff that they're not necessarily great at. And McVay's doing an amazing job. I think he's got a shot. Seattle's only 14th in pass defense. So it's not – I don't think they're the pass defense of old, like top three.
LOB.
Oh, Sean, man, McVay is the man. McVay,
yeah, absolutely.
It really is. And plus, Jared Goff was coming from a complex, or coming from a totally different offense in college. I don't know why everybody overreacts. We had freaking Jeff Fisher as his head coach, by the way. Good grief.
We don't even give young guys a chance anymore. Like we don't even.
I know everybody was hating on my boy Carson Wentz. Look what he's doing, man. God, people are just ridiculous these days. They're just like, oh, he sucks. My expert analysis says that Carson Wentz is bad at football. Whatever, dude. Just he's got a couple of hitches in his freaking throwing motion. Whatever. He's not freaking Peyton Manning. Go after yourself.
Tim,
but we're talking about Jared Goff. Sorry.
It's okay. You get on that soapbox, boy.
This
Tim,
is not the
Fantasy
Cold
Water
podcast. This is the Open.
Struck a nerve there.
Yeah, he did. I'm sorry.
I gotta get a little wild sometimes.
Tim, do you have cold water for us for either Carson Wentz or Jared Goff? Or are we good to go letting these guys go? Because just a quick heads up, as we speak, through 4 weeks, Carson Wentz, the number 8 quarterback in fantasy, Jared Goff, the number 10 quarterback in fantasy.
It's crazy.
Yes.
And Carson Wentz has played 3 of his 4 games on the road, by the way.
Yeah, with Goff, I actually had a pretty long back and forth with JJ Zacharyson when he was downplaying Watkins' move, and it was because of Goff. And he was just like, Goff can't hit the broadside of a barn. He can't do this. He can't do that. And they're all talking about last year. And I was like, right out of the gate, I was like, this Goff is not playing anywhere near to his potential. Like, he has nowhere to go but up. And when you look at how high up he can go, dude, this dude set FBS records. He took a team that was 1-11 to 8-5 right out of the gate as a junior. And one of his strengths was the deep ball, which I don't like. I'm with you, J Mike. I don't understand Watkins, because that was the whole impetus of our discussion when I was talking with JJ. I was like, dude, like, why are you fading JJ? Because his strength in Buffalo was being like, you think Tyrod is good at short passes or across the middle? Really? Like all you've ever talked about is how good Tyrod is at deep balls. Like Goff, if he's good at anything, he was the most accurate deep ball passer in the FBS the year that he graduated. And so it just seemed to make sense that this was bound to happen. So I am 100% on board with you guys. I think we are just now starting to see how good Goff is going to be. Wentz, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know enough about his game. I haven't watched enough film on Wentz. I know he's probably better than what most people think as far as a rookie, but I'm on the Goff train. No cold water here, my friends.
Yeah, the biggest thing with Wentz last year was he had the just a terrible supporting cast. I mean, not obviously I like Ertz and things like that, but the biggest thing that people missed out last year. Okay, yes, he was a rookie. The Eagles' offense as a whole was pretty bad.
Garbage.
Lane Johnson was the biggest factor. Being suspended for 10 games was, the beginning of the schedule was pretty soft. The next 10 games when he was suspended was pretty tough. And he got hurried like crazy. And obviously he was a rookie. Aguilar was terrible. He was graded the worst graded Pro Football Focus receiver 2 years in a row. He's doing better this year. Wentz finally has that line healthy, and I think even his left guard, Brandon Brooks, he was signed to like a huge deal last year, and he was suffering from depression. He was struggling all year, and Lane Johnson was out for 10 games. When you took the split from those 10 games that he was out and when Lane Johnson was starting, his points per drop back was up there with like David Carr and Kirk Cousins and things like that. He was like top 8 in terms of points per drop back. So it was a huge split, and he didn't have, the weapons that he does this year. They upgraded their team, now you're starting to see even on the road, he's putting up, good numbers. So I don't know. People were just kind of wanting to bash him. They kind of saw, all these flaws and stuff. I'm like, dude, like he was surrounded by a pretty shitty team. What are you going to do? He's a rookie. So now you're seeing it. But yeah, same thing with Goff. Sean McVay is an amazing coach. He's getting all, just a perfect fit for that. So I don't know. People hate, whatever.
So
hi, haters.
Can I throw out my big thing this week? And I've got to give some credit to Josh, ADHD. And anybody that doesn't follow his information at fantasyadhd.com should be. One of my favorite tools that he has is if you go to fantasyadhd.com/matchups, look at your tight end matchups this week. And dude, ASJ against Cleveland right now is just statistically set up to go absolutely off, which means he's going to put 2 points probably. But
isn't that the truth? But yeah,
right.
He's absolutely in a great spot.
But right now, like if we're going to get high on anybody this week, if I'm going to throw my name, on top of anybody else's, is ASJ this week. So go ahead and grab him if you can.
For sure. I agree with that.
Yep. Way agreed. That's going to be a hot pickup next week.
Well, I guess we can run out with that, Gabe, just being the last thing. Who's somebody that you guys feel like, hey, I'm definitely starting this guy this week in this matchup because it's either fantastic
Des Bryant finally is going to go off this week.
At home against the Green Bay.
My man Joe, yes.
Matchup, man. It's been a long wait, man. It's been a long wait, but it's here. It's here. His monster game is coming.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's made it through his Hunger Games, right?
Yeah, he's just, he kind of just like Amari Cooper kind of like fades away against those good corners and stuff. But this week, here it is. It's right there for the picking. So if he doesn't, I mean, he will. I mean, he's still getting the targets, just not the efficiency. So he'll have his monster week this week.
Great call.
That is a good one. What about you, Jake? You got one?
You know what? I'm not sure. Where are you at, J Mike? Let me think about this for a minute.
Well, I really like and I don't know if this is necessarily rocket science or anything, but the big homie OBJ going against the Chargers this week. Obviously, you start him, but I also like Sterling Shepard this week against the Chargers. Secondary has been incredibly disappointing. I think they missed Jason Verrett a whole lot more than anybody's ever going to try to say otherwise. I think that you probably pony up and you start all your Giants this week against a Chargers defense that's been incredibly underwhelming through 4 weeks. So Giants, whomever they may be, play them.
Let's see.
The tight end against them too.
Oh yeah, everybody. Ingram, give me everybody.
Play all the Giants. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Play all your Giants.
Tight end against the Giants.
Yes. I'm sorry. You're saying play Henry and Gates.
Yeah, you might be able to sneak away with Gates for cheap this week. I don't know if you're desperate. If you got guys on bye or something.
Casey Hayward's, still a really good corner, but you're right. They used to have those 2 lockdown corners, and that was like the strength of the defense. It was kind of like a mini Denver. Not saying that they were Denver at all, but they were strong where they had those 2 corners, and it would help the pass rush and things like that. And right now it's just they just have 1, so it opens up a lot of the offense. I've just seen more of their games this year than I can ever even think to remember, just randomly. I don't know how. But I don't like. I thought the Chargers defense would be really good this year, and they've not been anything special at all. I mean, Melvin Ingram coming off the edge, Bosa, they've been awesome. Those guys are fantastic. Yeah. Outside of them, linebackers are struggling. It's linebackers really struggling. Yeah. So it's nothing. I feel like that's a defense that can just be had. So Chargers on the road. Donkeys for not drafting freaking. Hooker. They're donkeys for drafting Mike Williams and not Hooker when they could have. That really ticked me off. So they kind of get what they deserve with that. Yeah, they played themselves. They really did. They really did. Like they had a chance to take Malik Hooker, kind of replace Weddle, and have that amazing secondary. That was rough. I was pissed about that. Just for football's sake, I was like, man, what are you doing? Anyways, that's my little soapbox. But yeah, whatever. Another guy just randomly is Aldrick Robinson might be a nice little sleeper play this week if Goodwin's got the concussion, not going to be able to play. He had 12 targets. He was really inefficient last week, but
they seem to be out of sync there. But yeah,
just waiting for it.
Aldrick Robinson. What you got, Jake?
Yeah, I don't really have anybody necessarily, but I'm interested to see if the Dolphins just lay down. I have a sneaking suspicion that I obviously could be completely wrong here, but Gay seemed extremely frustrated, and he's come out and he's like, I'm going to push these guys really hard this week. If they don't come out and play hard this week, if they don't play well this week, man, that team is done. But I have a sneaking suspicion that they might come out and play well offensively this week against Tennessee, who has the 29th ranked pass defense. So I don't know about Devontae Parker. I know Tennessee is actually pretty good against number 1 receivers, but they're not very good against the rest of the wide receiving core. But it'll be interesting. I have this feeling that Miami might turn things around at least a little bit this week.
I think it's
Mariota
playing.
Gonna
need to.
Is Mariota out?
We don't know yet. He's on the
still questionable.
They signed Brandon Whedon though, so that's never a good sign.
No, but that's good though, because that Titans defense has been lit up the last 2 weeks. Obviously, Deshaun Watson had his coming out party against them, and then before that, it was Seattle. Russell Wilson went ham as well, so that's a good one.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see if Deshaun Watson can play well against Kansas City this week. I think this, especially in Dynasty, it's like super flex leagues especially, this may have been the week to sell high on Deshaun Watson. I mean, coming off those two weeks as a rookie, people love their young players. It'll be interesting. If he plays well against Kansas City, then I'm going to believe more than I have been. And I have given him some credit recently, but it'll be interesting to see how he plays against Kansas City.
Take us home, Gabe.
Oh, you all know I'm going to talk about Devin Funchess, right?
All right, that's the open bar, guys.
Wow.
Trade Cooper for Devin Funches.
Could have went with like
Last take right there.
Trubisky or somebody interesting, but we had to go back to fucking Funches.
Oh,
Might as well
man.
be his
You guys
name.
took all the
Just
good
Evan Funches.
I already said Gates. I think he's kind of a sneaky play. I mean both Tampa Bay tight ends got touchdowns last week, so I think it's possible for
He's got the record now,
actual
right? They
good
don't have to play him.
to do it. Yeah, true. Just kind of a what the heck throw in there if you don't have Fleener or Reed or whatever Hooper, those kind of guys are all on bye. So if you don't have anyone decent, but Funches, Darius Slay's not going to be covering him this Sunday. He'll be all over Benjamin. Y'all just watch. Funches and Oaks.
Jared Cook,
baby.
too.
Funches and Oaks.
Baltimore's has been awful against tight ends.
And they're usually so good against them.
It's strange.
It's been like, yeah.
It's been a weird year for Baltimore.
20s.
They usually lead the league in pass attempts, and it's like they're running the ball. It just makes no sense.
2017. Wow.
Yeah. Hey, as long as I do have
Dude.
I brought his name up, but now that you got some smart guys on here, what do you guys think about Mitch Trubisky this week?
Oh, I love Mitch. I don't
Right?
love him going against Minnesota, and I don't like his next slew of games here, but I'm a big Trubisky. I use my quarterback one in this class. I love him. He reminded me of Derek Carr coming out.
Yeah, wait for him to look like shit in these first 3 games.
It's gonna be
He's got
tough.
Some tough matchups.
It's gonna be
and then buy
tough.
him.
I mean,
Yeah,
the perfect thing is
Superflex or
you
Dynasty
sign Mike Glennon to kind of start things off and set the bar really low, and then you just come in there and you look awesome with this draft pick that you got, Mitch Trubisky. So I don't know, man. I don't think you can look too much worse than the old giraffe neck.
Yeah, well, you look at like a comparison, so go back to when Pittsburgh played Minnesota. Is like, I'd say Chicago probably actually has a better offensive line, running game. Well, right now, I think like as they play versus when they played, running game. I think Howard and Cohen combined is a little bit deeper running threat. Defensively, man, I'm a Steelers fan. I'm telling you that Chicago's defense it's not a joke. So when you combine all those things together, I don't know. Like Pittsburgh didn't have a bad day against Minnesota at all. So why wouldn't Mitch? I mean, really, the only thing he has against him at this point is being a rookie, right?
Well, Minnesota's defense is legit, though, too. I mean,
Yep.
you just hope he can be efficient and not make too many mistakes.
They shut Drew Brees down pretty well when they played him in week 1. And I mean, he had some garbage time points, but really controlled.
You can run the ball on Minnesota a little bit. So if they can establish that and then, give them some easy passes, easy play, establish the play action. I mean, like I said, I think the Viking season is probably done. So I almost want them to lose.
It's like, aren't you a Vikings fan?
Yeah, man, but they're not going anywhere without a running game. I don't think they can. I mean, Delvin did so much for this offense, and I like the weapons, but man, did he make things so much easier for his quarterbacks. And without that dynamic in the backfield, I think it's done. Even if Bradford comes back, maybe we're in 8-8 team, but we're not going to the playoffs without Delvin. So it's just, for me, it's a loss, another lost season as a Vikings fan.
Damn.
True chains at home under the beady eyes of John Gruden. Talking about Spider 2Y banana. It'll be interesting. That's an interesting spot. Anywho.
All right. Let's shut this bitch down.
Gotta go.
Shut this bitch down. Let's salute to that right there. It was fun. I had a fun time.
I'm drinking a beer that doesn't even have a label at this point. Look at that shit. It doesn't even have a label.
Did it come that way?
Your beer doesn't have a label. You're drinking a wine from a box.
I'm like homeless at this point. I got
That's not even his house. He saw
Good
that
times,
podcast
guys.
set up in somebody's window.
All right. Say your goodbyes. Shout out yourself on Twitter. We'll start with Tim.
at
Share some
Quantum
things.
Turner. Grapes of Draft podcast. Thanks again for having me on, guys. Seriously, this is probably the most fun I've had with fantasy football in a long time. So this is a great group of guys. You guys are really intelligent. Thanks for having me.
You say that to all the guys. I'm just kidding. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot
that's
of fun.
true.
Yeah, you said the same thing to J Mike and I last week. Like,
No, that means it's progressive, right? That's
I mean,
good.
technically,
No.
I said it to Luke last week and Joe this week. So,
Oh, it's
and
awesome.
welcome to the Dynasty Happy Hour Open Bar with Luke and Joe.
You guys are awesome, man. I had a great time. I enjoy drinking and talking football anytime. You guys were great. So thanks for having me on. You can find me at Get Your Pens at PAENO, real tough, Pano, really on Twitter. You can listen to the Dynasty Happy Hour, talking a little bit of football in there as well. And I had a great time. Thanks for having me on. And anytime. I love talking some football, especially live with the little YouTube setup. Love it. That's like the grassroots right there in podcasting.
Really got to be on your A game. P-A-N-E-E. I always want to say P-A-N-E-O. I want to, but I can't.
piano.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's so easy to make fun of, like, and so easy to like alter and create nicknames for. I just let it flow, man. I mean, you can kind of do whatever you want with it. I mean, my first one or two like guest spots with Dynasty Happy Hour, like, dude, Tyler and
Doug Eddie Doug.
Yeah, Doug. I was gonna say, I was trying to remember your nicknames that you had for him. They just had a field day with my last name, so it was great.
Even better than that, real quick, Joe, I like how you moved your mic in front of those 5th place trophies so we can't see them anymore.
Good point.
Dude, thanks. You keep moving my places up. They're like 7th place. But yeah. See that those little tiny little trophies over there, my participation trophies. Thank you very much. Oh, see, that's good. I feel at home when you razz me like that. Like, that's what makes me feel at home.
My man.
So. All right, Jake.
Yeah, you can find me at
Super flex on him.
You can find me at NFL Draft Talker. I have some news coming out probably next week. I won't release it tonight, but I do have some news coming out next week. Very excited about this opportunity. Always a pleasure to come on the open bar with you guys. Nice to finally see your faces, Tim and Joe, and we'll have to do it again sometime.
You bet.
Can I hold on a second? Wait. So you dropped the news that you were coming out tonight, and there's bigger news. You're saying there's bigger news than you coming out.
Bigger news. It's a big day for me.
I'm upset that you don't think that you can say it here, and you have to say it somewhere else. But whatever. What's bigger than you coming out of the closet? I really don't know.
You just have to wait.
Yeah, it's intriguing. Okay, all right.
Next week he's coming outer.
Outer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Full bloom.
Even more surprises for
there's
you
levels.
guys.
Okay. So where are you announcing this big news? Okay.
It'll be on Twitter. You'll see it on Twitter.
Oh, okay. So on Twitter, just not here.
It's on Twitter.
Okay. All right.
All 7 of your
You
followers.
have a countdown for this?
Just because you have 27,000 porn bots following you, Tim.
I have nothing but porn bots. You guys don't even follow me. I don't even know how
I follow you.
27. Well, it's because you have 27,000 of them that you don't notice that we follow you, Tim. Like, we do follow you. You just have so many notifications of all the bots that you don't even realize.
After tonight, I'm still not convinced you guys aren't porn bots.
Oh, we are. I mean, that's why I wake up at 5 in the morning.
Abort.
I don't know.
Put my hair back up. Shit.
Screen just goes black. Like, no.
Oh man! See, look at that picture of you over there, man. That's definitely a bot right there for sure.
Oh yeah.
Are we talking about J Mike? Because we
Trying
definitely
to be
Just
seductive, looking
off.
just off in the distance.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
interesting.
that's a porn bot for
I
sure.
might have to say his goodbyes for him.
That's a male escort.
Fresh
photo.
out the barbershop, got that fresh line right there and everything.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay, I see what's going on in this pod. Gabe's got the Fabio look over here. Got J Mike with that fresh line at the barbershop, looking good. Looking
We're gonna
good.
have to
Okay.
have
Sorry, I
open-
took up too much time here.
Just wait till we
open
go
bar
off air,
after
Joe.
dark. Open bar after dark.
Oh,
Yep.
God.
I'm a little nervous now. Open bar after dark.
grab another beer.
Tim's flashing. Oh man, this is getting good. It's getting good. That box wine, man. I gotta get some of that box wine. That's for sure.
That's the turn up right there. All right.
Even his 37 kids
That I know of.
that you know of, yeah, for sure. I'm with you. You can't be for sure. You can't. I mean, we can assume 37. Maybe we can round up to 52. I don't know.
Oh, Jesus Christ. J Mike, can you please take us out of here? Somebody.
Yes. So,
Joe's pulling a Casey Kasem right now.
yes, he is. So,
That's what I do.
on Twitter at JMikeCheck at JMICCheck. One thing that we did not talk about that I really didn't even want to bring up, but I'm going to now since we're just
No,
vamping. No, I'm going to. No, I'm sorry. So shout out to the big homie Van Burf on Twitter at Van Burf. Who was, yes. So Gabe is going through some things. Gabe, as you close the show, will you please make sure to bring up kind of the situation that you're dealing with, just your condition, if you will. I don't want to get into it. I want you to be able to tell the people kind of what's going on with you.
All right, guys. Well, first you can find me at Grab Bag Fantasy. Follow me there. We do the open bar here every week, 9:30 Eastern, live. Get some new peeps on here. J Mike's always here. Sometimes 5 minutes early, sometimes 5 minutes late. But what I am never early or late on, I'm not really sure if that makes sense, is my waiver ads. And guys, each and every week, usually every Tuesday night, I'm putting in my bids to get players that will be worthless in 2 weeks, such as Chris Carson.
Oh,
Damn. He went there.
Last week, Samaje Perine. This week, Wayne Gallman. Yes, I spent about 35% of my dynasty fab budget on Wayne Gallman.
would you say you blew your load? Is that what you?
This is the issue, guys. Please be careful out there. Do not premature effabulate.
Oh my God. I've never heard. Has that been said before? Because if not, that's a big deal. That's fucking amazing. You fabulate?
I suffer from premature effabulation each and every week.
It's
Trademark. We finally found Gabe's thing.
It's a chronic condition. There's no cure in sight.
Many infomercials coming. He's gonna be in a separate bathtub with the fab dollars on the other side of the bath.
Oh, Wayne.
I mean, it is Dynasty Fab.
Yeah, I didn't feel as bad, but redraft fab. Be careful. Do not premature effabulate. That's what we're ending with.
There a cure?
J-Mike can't even right now. The cure is shoot. Is there a cure? You have to just come through with a Chris Carson.
Whoa.
Or
You have to.
you have to come through.
You got to relax with the coming through there.
Pants will be off.
This is serious. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being, bold enough and
This is hard. Okay, this
taking
is
the
hard.
courage.
I just thought Jake coming
Stop
out.
saying hard.
I know.
There's so much to unpack this episode. People are like, oh my God, I'm done. I'm done.
Man.
It's all erected. I mean, intended. It's all intended. Okay, we're out. We'll be here next week. be careful. Don't prematurely fabulate. We'll talk about who you spent your money on and who you dropped them dollars on next week. And we're excited to see who it'll be. It'll probably be ASJ, to be honest, but that's worth it. That is nothing to be afraid of. You're going to be fine. Cheers, guys. Do your little cheers towards the camera. A little one of these little coopsies. Coop, and that's Coop. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Hey, we'll see y'all next week. This
I'm
is
so mad we didn't talk about the Simeon tout. That's what I'm mad about. It's okay.